How deep is the ocean, really? When we look at the ocean, we see endless waves, shimmering blue water, and maybe the distant shape of a boat or an island. But beneath that surface, just a few feet below what our eyes can see, begins a journey so vast, so dark, and so alien that we barely understand it even today. The question is simple: how deep is the ocean really? But the answer takes us to a world more mysterious than outer space. Let's start with what we know. The ocean covers over 70% of the Earth's surface, and on average it's about 12,100 feet deep. That's more than 2 miles. But that's just the average. In some places, it plunges far deeper than we ever imagined. To put it in perspective, the tallest mountain on Earth, Mount Everest, stands at about 29,000 feet. If you were to place it in the deepest part of the ocean, its peak would still be over a mile underwater. The deepest part of the ocean is called the Challenger Deep, located in the Mariana Trench, a crescent-shaped trench in the western Pacific Ocean. Challenger Deep reaches down to nearly 36,000 feet, or almost 7 miles. That's deeper than the cruising altitude of a commercial airplane. It's so deep, in fact, that if you dropped a stone from the surface, it would take over an hour to reach the bottom. At those depths, the pressure is almost unimaginable, over 1,000 times greater than at sea level. It's like having 50 jumbo jets stacked on top of you. Yet despite these crushing conditions, life still exists. Scientists have discovered tiny organisms, strange fish with glowing eyes, and creatures that look like they belong in a science fiction movie. Now here's where things get even more interesting. We've explored less than 5% of the ocean. That means over 95% of it remains uncharted, unseen, and largely unknown. To this day, we know more about the surface of the Moon and Mars than we do about the deepest parts of our own planet. Think about that. We've sent people to the International Space Station hundreds of times, but only a handful of humans have ever reached the deepest ocean trenches. The ocean is divided into zones, each one darker, colder, and more alien than the last. The first zone, the epipelagic zone, is the sunlight zone. It extends from the surface down to about 650 feet. This is where most marine life lives, including coral reefs, dolphins, and fish that we're familiar with. Below that is the twilight zone, or mesopelagic zone. Sunlight fades and things get colder. This zone reaches down to about 3,300 feet. Many creatures here have evolved bioluminescence, the ability to produce light, to hunt, escape predators, or find mates in the darkness. Then we enter the midnight zone, stretching from 3,300 feet to around 13,000 feet. Here it's pitch black. The pressure is crushing. Temperatures are just above freezing, and yet even here life continues. Weird, slow-moving, and perfectly adapted to the silence and cold. Go deeper still, and you reach the abyssal zone, and finally the hadal zone, the realm of the ocean trenches. This is where things get truly extreme. In these near-invisible places, the earth cracks open, hydrothermal vents spew boiling chemicals, and animals live without sunlight, relying instead on chemosynthesis, a process powered not by the sun, but by chemicals released from the Earth's core. These vents create entire ecosystems in complete darkness, proof that life can exist in places we never thought possible. It's one reason why scientists believe that life might exist on other planets, in the oceans beneath the icy shells of moons like Europa or Enceladus. Because if it can survive down here, it might survive out there. The deep ocean isn't just fascinating, it's also essential. It regulates our climate, it stores vast amounts of carbon, it's home to millions of undiscovered species, and it holds clues to Earth's past, and possibly even its future. Yet we dump waste into it, drill into its floor, and ignore how little we know about it. Exploring the ocean is hard. The pressure destroys most machines. Visibility is nearly zero. Communications don't work underwater like they do in space. But with new technology, robotic submarines, deep diving drones, and sonar mapping, we're slowly beginning to unlock its secrets. And every time we go deeper, we learn something that challenges what we thought we knew about biology, geology, and the resilience of life. So how deep is the ocean really? It's not just measured in feet or miles. It's measured in mystery, in possibility, and in the reminder that there's still so much we don't know about the planet we live on. The next time you stand at the edge of the sea and look out at the horizon, remember, beneath those waves lies a universe, vast, cold, dark, and waiting to be explored.